Hello, welcome to the webinar. Great to have everybody here. I'm Omar Zenhom. I'm the co-founder of WebinarNinja. Great to have you on the webinar. As you're joining, guys, make sure you introduce yourself. Let us know where you're tuning in from and a little bit about what you do and who do you serve. Bonus points to Irandira, who's is an American who helps Americans, to move to Mexico. I love this concept. Moving country is not easy. I've done it a few times. So this is super helpful. She helps them process their visas and she teaches them Spanish on Zoom. This is pretty cool. So as you're joining, you're going to follow her lead and go ahead and let us know what do you do? Who do you serve? Introduce yourself in the chat so that we can make sure that we get to know each other a little bit, as well as cater today's session to your needs. Yep, we're more than just a software. We also help our users, help our members achieve their goals in their business, whether it's teaching, whether it's selling, whether it's nurturing their community. We're here to help you guys out. Welcome, guys. As you're joining in, I see everybody jumping in. Hey, Bill, great to have you here. Health insurance guy. All good, Bill. We all need health insurance. I love it. Hey, Giselle, great to have you from Ontario, Canada. You're not too far from Jenny, who is also from Canada. I also launched a poll. If you take a look in the chat, there's a launched poll. There's also a little poll icon in the tabs to learn a little bit more about how many webinars you've hosted in the past. So go ahead and pop inside how many webinars you've hosted. This means you actually ran the webinar. You're actually teaching on the webinar, not attended. So go ahead and let me know. There's no right or wrong answer. It just lets me know where everybody's at so I can be able to cater today's session to your needs. Love it, guys. So like I mentioned, I'm the co-founder and the CEO of WebinarNinja, and this session's all about you, really. It's all about finding out if our tool, WebinarNinja, is a good tool for you. It's a good fit for your needs, good fit for your business. So this is a ample opportunity, a great opportunity for you to go ahead and ask questions. So you might be wondering, can I use WebinarNinja for this or that or the other thing? This is what I'm struggling with. I need to be able to do this. Let me know in the chat. There's also a questions tab next to the chat where you can ask questions. Go ahead and pop your questions there. And you can also upvote questions if you like a question that you see and you want it answered first. So go ahead and do that. Hey, Chris, great to have you here from Oregon Coast. Great. Hey, Scott, welcome from Chicagoland. Love it. Chicago is one of the bigger. I grew up in New York. Chicago is the first other city I went to when I was younger. I remember I was like maybe 16 or something like that when I took a road trip down to Chicago. Man, it was exciting. It was a really nice city. I haven't been back since. This is crazy. It's one of those cities that if you don't, make a point to go, then it's kind of hard to kind of just find yourself there. All right, so today's demo webinar is all about, we're going to walk you through WebinarNinja. We're going to talk about why did people choose WebinarNinja over other providers, because obviously we know you have choices. We'll talk about all that in today's webinar. Let's take a look at what the menu for today is. Let's take a look. Hey, John, great to have you here. John, love the question. I'm going to actually convert it into a question, and I'm going to go ahead and pop it in the questions area. And I'll make sure to answer for sure. Hey, Joella, great to have you here. Hey, Anne, great to have you here. So this is what we're going to cover in today's webinar. We're going to talk about why WebinarNinja was created in the first place. I think it's really important to understand what was the genesis of any business idea or any product you're going to buy, because it will tell you a lot about what motivates this company, as well as what you can expect from that software, okay, from that product, from that tool. Right? If you know the company was founded on these principles or these reasons, then you know you're going to get more of that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to talk about, I'm going to walk you through creating a webinar inside of WebinarNinja. I'm going to share my screen. You're going to go into my own account. You're going to see all the different things you can do. I can't cover every single feature of WebinarNinja in today's session because this would be like a 5-hour session, because it does a whole lot. We've been building WebinarNinja for over 8 years. So as you can imagine, we've been really making it a real powerful product. So I'll go through the highlights, but if there's something in particular you want to see, make sure you let me know in the chat. I'll make sure to show it to you in the demo. I'm also going to share the 3 big reasons why people are switching to Webinar Ninja. These are actual quotes from customers that switched to other providers. We actually asked them, say, hey, why did you come to us? And they told us, well, this is the reason why we switched. And I'm going to share those reasons. These are the 3 most popular reasons. We do polls, we do a lot of surveys to learn more about our customers. So you can find out if those reasons resonate with you, if those are the reasons why you want to switch over or not. Okay. Again, the whole point of today's webinar is to see if it's a good fit for you. So there are plenty of people that we have that we just flat out say, hey, you're looking for a different tool. We don't do that. And that's totally okay. And that's why you're here to find out. But our job is to make sure that if there is a problem we can solve for you and your business, that we show it to you. And then lastly, we're going to answer every single question you have. So make sure you pop your questions in the questions area, okay? So there's a questions area right by the chat. I see Anna's already popping in questions. And we're going to keep on going. I'll just answer Anne's question real quick. No, we prefer Chrome just because Chrome is built on web, like they're the kind of the founders of web video, which is called WebRTC. But our software works on every single device, especially for the attendees. Attendees can attend on mobile devices, on iOS, on Chrome, on Firefox, on Safari, on Edge. It works on every single platform, works on every single browser, especially for the attendee. Now, for the host, we recommend that they use Chrome or Firefox because these are more these types of browsers are actually more conducive to making sure that you can share screen and be able to do a whole bunch of stuff as a host. You can still use Safari if you insist, but this is what we recommend as the host. But you can use any browser you like as an attendee or attend the webinar as well as a host. So I just wanted to make sure I clear that up for you, Anne, right off the bat. Cool stuff. All right, let's move right along. I see that you guys are already popping in questions. This is great, and I'll be answering questions throughout. So go ahead and pop questions in. And if you want to engage with me, I highly recommend it. We go back and forth. I ask you questions. You pop them in the chat. This is how we're going to use the chat today. Love it. Hey, Joella, great to have you here. Welcome. Good stuff. All right, cool stuff. Lawrence, great to have you here from the UK. I haven't been in the UK in a while, man. Oh, this COVID thing has been crazy. Okay, so for those of you who hang around in today's webinar, I want to thank you for being part of the workshop, about participating in the workshop. So I have a special gift for you. It's our No More Panic webinar checklist. We actually renamed it to No Worries checklist. So you'll get that as a gift, as a downloadable in our handout section at the end of today's webinar, I promise. And you'll be able to download it and grab it. And it's a great list of things you can tick off to make sure that you are ready to go before a webinar, that you have covered all your bases so you have nothing to worry about, okay? So it's a great way, a little gift from me to you to say thanks for being on today's webinar. Love it. Hey, Joy from California, let me know. I lived in San Diego for a bit, was in Pacific Beach. Love to know where in Southern California you're from. Pop it in the chat. So, for those who don't know, I'm Omar Zenhom. I founded or co-founded Webinar Ninja with my partner in life and partner in business, Nicole Baldino, who's in this picture with me. We founded it back in 2014. And I really started Webinar Ninja because I love teaching. And you're going to see that actually that's what I've been doing all my life. I was actually a school teacher for over 13 years. And when I transitioned to entrepreneurship, I ran a lot of webinars and I hated all the other products out there, all the other tools out there that ran webinars, because it wasn't really built for teaching. It was really built for meetings and corporate environments. What I wanted was something that I can be able to teach easily with and help my students learn. Whether I'm selling a product, whether I'm delivering my live courses, whether I'm just doing office hours and answering questions. I want to be able to do this easily and just focus on my content and not on all the bells and whistles and all the tech. Okay, I just want to focus on what I'm trying to deliver. Those who buy Webinar Ninja, those are our members, our Webinar Ninja, they're really the stakeholders, and we work towards helping them and trying to improve the software. So we take customer feedback really seriously because we know basically our customers are our boss. We got to make sure that we serve our customers. We're also a top-ranked software on many review sites, as well as the fact that We were listed one of the fastest growing software companies in 2018. Super proud of that. But before all that, before I started Webinar Ninja, like I mentioned, I was a school teacher. I taught high school English, and I also taught university English for a bit for my last 5 years in my career. For 13 years, I did 5 matinees a day, meaning I taught 5 classes a day in the classroom teaching students. This is what I did for a living before I moved into entrepreneurship. I then transitioned while I was teaching. I was doing some side hustling. I was building businesses on the side. Here's a picture of me on my couch back in the day, trying to figure out why my website looks different on my mobile device versus my laptop. Okay, I'm not proud of how disheveled I look in this picture, but I wanted to give you the raw truth. This is what it looks like. This is entrepreneurship, guys, and you guys know it. All right, you know you can resonate with this photo. If you do, let me know in the chat. If you could see yourself in this photo where somebody's taking a surprise picture of you while you're just in the zone trying to figure things out on your business, let me know in the chat if that is something that you can resonate with. So Nicole and I started building businesses on the side, as well as then going to full entrepreneurship back in 2012. Nicole and I, we teamed up. We live in Sydney, Australia now. And we built our business here. And Webinar Ninja has been around since 2014. And I just started to be able to use webinars to be able to sell my products and services, my courses, my coaching. For those who don't know, I run a podcast called the $100 MBA Show, which is one of the top business podcasts in over 30 countries. We have over 200 million downloads on the podcast, which is absolutely insane. But what do I do on this podcast? You guessed it. I teach every single day a business lesson. This is my bread and butter. And I do that all around the world. I teach on stages when we could travel. Hopefully that comes back very soon. As well as, I teach courses. I teach mini lessons. I also do a lot of one-off challenges like creating courses and webinars and all that kind of stuff. So teaching, in my opinion, is the new selling, is the way we convey value to people. If you think you can just push and force people to buy something, those days are long gone. Okay. We have a very educated buyer thanks to the internet. So people want to learn why they should buy something rather than being told they should buy it. Okay. So this is my philosophy, and this is why I love teaching on webinars. So back in 2013, when I started running webinars, I ran a webinar every single week to be able to sell my products and services, my courses, my coaching. But I realized, man, there are so many moving parts. It took me about 2 hours to put together a webinar every single time I had to run a webinar every single week. And what are some of these moving parts? It was like webinar software itself, the landing page software so I could put up a registration page, the video storage so I'd be able to host the replay somewhere, email marketing software so that I can be able to send reminders and notifications, email automation software so I can be able to know who attended, who not attend, and send them the replay. Time zone conversion software so that when somebody goes on my registration page, it converts to their own local time zone. I wanted to run polls. I wanted to put offers. And then analytics and reports is a whole different, can of worms. And I was hodgepodging, Frankensteining all this stuff together, right, to make it happen. And I had a vision, and I literally drew this on a napkin. And then I got an illustrator to draw it for me. But basically, I just want to be able to create a webinar in a few seconds and then show up for my webinar and have a great webinar. That's all I wanted to do. So this is really what my vision for Webinar Ninja is to be able to just create a webinar in 10 seconds and then show up and have a great webinar. And I'm happy to say 7 years later, over 2 million people have attended a webinar, Webinar Ninja. We're able to fulfill that vision. And I'm here to show you what this webinar software could do for you so that you can be able to teach and gain new customers and nurture those new customers with this platform. I love it. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to share my screen and show you a bit about Webinar Ninja, creating a webinar, all that kind of stuff. So that way you are fully aware of how easy it is to create webinars with Webinar Ninja. Before I jump into my account, I want you to answer this question, guys, as I go through. And I want to make sure that you understand. Just pop in the chat right now. Answer this question. What is the main reason why you're here today, right? What are you trying to do with webinars? Are you trying to sell? Are you trying to offer your live coaching? Are you doing office hours? Let me know in the chat. What's the main reason why you are doing webinars or you're interested in webinars, right? I want to offer live group coaching. Awesome, Mary. We got tons of our users that do that. They do hot seats. They get people on camera. They teach. It's great. And I'll show you a little bit about that, Mary, in a second. Lauren says, see my answers in a few minutes ago. Okay, cool. Joy says, learn more about using webinars on my coaching program. Love it, Joy. Giselle says, I'm early adopter to Webinar Ninja. Cool. Awesome. I'm here to see how teaching is instead of selling. Thanks, Giselle. No problem. I'm here. Great to have you here. Brian, selling marketing services. Do live coaching. Love it. Ann says, teach people about executive. Sorry, I'm just trying to zoom into here. Okay, cool. And cognitive function following brain injury. We actually have a couple of users that are in your industry. Michelle Wild. If you jump in Ninja Town, you should definitely hook up with Michelle. She's definitely somebody that you want to talk to because she's been building a business around veterans that had brain injuries. Millions of people don't get any information or help. This is so true. I learned this from Michelle, and it's real noble work that you're doing. Scott says, I teach racetrack promoters how to use my directory website. I love these niches. Awesome, Scott. And also, we'll be building webinars for making social simple. Cool.com. Personal development courses, Lauren says. Love it. Once we create it, we do repost it on YouTube. Okay, this is a question between you guys. No problem. Okay, guys, and I love all the questions you guys are popping in the questions area. We'll make sure to answer every single one. All right, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to create a webinar together to make sure that we make it super, super clear how easy it is to create a webinar. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to actually go full screen here so that way you could see. Okay. So I'm here in my webinars page, and with Webinar Ninja, you can create a webinar very, very easily. And you can create all different types of webinars. You can create live webinars, automated webinars, series webinars, hybrid webinars, all in one place. You don't need to buy separate software to do this. Now, some people are asking about courses. Can I deliver courses? We have users that use the series webinar to run the live courses. So you could definitely do that here. I'll talk a little bit more about, we have another feature coming out that's going to lend itself a little bit easier for you to run that as well. But many of our users use the series type of webinar to be able to deliver a series of dates, live or recorded, to be able to deliver a paid or free course. All right, but let's create a live webinar together. Just as an example, let's say I'm going to create a webinar about 3 beginner yoga poses that feel great. I'm the host because this is my account, but I can add a presenter. Say, for example, I have a co-host with me. Maybe I want to add Jenny, who's going to join me. I could just give her name and email, and then she gets an email inviting automatically. You don't need to email anybody. It goes straight to Jenny in my case, and she knows exactly where to go to be my co-host. But I'm going to just leave it for me right now. And then I just choose a date and time. Okay, so say, for example, I'm going to do this on the 26th, and I'm going to do it at 11 a.m. And I can set my time zone. I can set my time zone inside my account in my settings, so that way I don't have to keep worrying what time zone am I doing this. We will convert the time zone for your registrants, for your attendees automatically, which is awesome because they get to see it in their local time zone. And then when they register, all the email notifications and all the reminders will show it in their date and time in their local time zone. So that way there's no confusion. They can add it to their calendar simply, and they get reminders so they don't miss your webinar. Okay. Now, with every type of webinar, whether it's live or automated or series or hybrid, you can make it free or you can charge for it and make it paid. So if you're doing a paid workshop, if you're doing a paid series or course, if you're doing a automated type of masterclass, you can go ahead and do that with a recorded video, and you can charge for it. So we have an integration with Stripe so that you can easily charge for your webinars and get paid instantly. So let's say, for example, I can just set the dollar amount here. Let's say it's $100. I could do that. or I could just make it free. Let's say this is a lead generating webinar, and I'm going to make it free, just like today's webinar is free. So I'm going to hit create webinar. When I hit create webinar, what Webinar Ninja is going to do now is create every single aspect of your webinar. Okay. So it just created everything for me. I have my registration page created. The webinar page is created. All my email reminders are created. All the thank you page and all the things they need to see when they get to the webinar, all done. There's nothing for you to do anymore. It's over. Okay. Now, if you want to customize this webinar to fit your brand, to fit your style, to fit your messaging, you could do this. But if I wanted to, I can just run the webinar right now. I can hit publish and I can start sharing my webinar and start running it. Okay. But let's say I want to customize my webinar. So I'm going to go to, let's say, registration page template, and we have built-in landing page templates. Okay. So you don't need to buy a landing page template like Lead Pages or anything like that. You don't need to be a designer. You don't need to be a graphic expert or anything like that. We have templates for you to use. Okay. So we have several different kinds of templates. I'm gonna load them up. I have like a million saved in my account, so it's gonna take a second for it to load. But I'm gonna just show you quickly how it all works. So inside of your template, you can edit everything from text to fonts to images to colors to everything that you see here. Okay, so that way you can modify it to fit your brand, your colors, your logos, everything. And then from here, you could save it. So as you can see, there are different templates you can use. You can use, just a minimal template, a detail template, a neat template, a video template. I love this video template as well. I can just grab this here, or I like the neat one's very popular with people. So say, for example, I collect this one, right? And boom, I have a new template here, and I can now edit and change everything. Like say, for example, my branding is blue and white, and I want to change the background to blue. So I'm gonna go here and just go like this and change it. Here we go. And I can even change the opacity. I can, I don't need to be some sort of special designer to do this. It's all easy to do right here. Boom, click it. I have an image here on the right that is by default, but I can change it. I can upload my own images. I can select from my existing gallery. We have images in our royalty-free, stock-free images that you can use and not have to worry about licensing. We do that for you. Or you could just upload your own images or use one image that you've used before. So say, for example, I want to use this image of Webinar Ninja software. I'm going to hit and pop it in there, and it's going to just pop it in there. That's it. No worrying about how do I do this? What about database? What about storage? I want to change my logo. Let's say this is the company logo. No, I don't want that. I can change that right here. Image. I'm going to pop my Webinar Ninja logo in there. And I could upload any image I want to in my media library. Boom, done. As you can see, we have these short tags that says, webinar title. The reason why we use these short tags is that way you can use this template over and over. You don't need to worry about what the title of the webinar is. We will auto-populate it for you. So if I preview this template right now, it's going to load it with all the information, the date, the time, all. And as you can see, you convert to your local time zone. It knows that I'm in Australia, so I can click it here and it'll convert. All that kind of stuff. So you can modify this page to your heart's content, make it your own brand, change all the wording and the text and the information. You could change your title. You can change the bullet points. Say, for example, you're like, you know what? I got a lot of information to convey. I want to add more bullet points. Let's make 8 bullet points. I hit update. It'll add it automatically. I can change all this stuff. Nice and simple. Okay. Let's say I want to add some information about me, as a host. Let me put my image here. Let me go to my gallery, go to my images. Where's a picture of me? Let's say I want to put a picture of me right here. Boom. It's going to pop it inside. And I could just change the text here about Omar Zenhom, right? And say, for example, you know what? My brand uses a sans serif and not a serif. So I'm going to, or a serif, let's say, and I'm going to go with like, let's say, a lobster font. Okay, this is my font. I just use this. I could change the font colors and the sizes and all that kind of stuff. So super simple. Let's say I want to add some testimonials. I want to add maybe some information. Some people even use this as like features. Like, hey, we have great customer support. We have this, that, the other thing. So you can change this up. Again, let's say I want to do a testimonial and Matthew Kimberly is my guy who's going to give me a testimonial. Here we go. Matthew Kimberly, boom. And I'm going to pop it in. Super simple. Nothing to do, nothing to edit. How do I crop it into a circle? No, it's all done for you. So once I'm happy with my template, I can easily hit save. And then when I hit save, this is where the magic happens, guys. You could save this template in your media library so that you can just load it up the next time you do it, all right? And you just give it a name, okay? You can also save this template or make this template default for all your webinars. So that means next time you create a new webinar, it will just use this template so that you don't have to rewrite anything. And guess what? All the webinar specific information will be auto-populated, so you don't have to worry about, did I write the wrong title or anything like that? It's all done for you. But I'm going to hit cancel and just hit save here because I don't want to have to change my templates. And I'm going to close out. Okay. Nice and simple. All right. And then now I can go ahead and I can modify all other things. The thank you page as well. This is the page they see after that you register for the webinar, and which has an add to calendar feature so that they can add your event straight to their calendar. Super, super awesome. You can add video. You can do all kinds of stuff. Okay. You can also modify the email notifications that go out. Now, you don't need to use any separate tool. WebinarNinja has built in an email system. So we have already written the emails for you, okay? Because we've tested and we know the best practices to use, their frequency, how often, when you should send these emails out in terms of reminding them it's tomorrow, it's today, 1 hour to go. We even have emails that are specific to those who missed the webinar and need to get the replay, and those who attended it and get a replay. All these emails you can customize. So let's say I hit edit, you can change the subject line, you can change all the copy like I did. I've edited all this information for you. I edited this information for myself, but there's default copy for you so you can go ahead and change this. And of course, you could save this copy so you don't have to rewrite this every single time. Save as default, which is a great little test. And if you want to see what it looks like in your inbox, you just hit send test, it goes to you. You can also add email notifications to the series. So say, for example, you're like, I want to send an email 3 days after the webinar. Let's say 3 days after the webinar ends to give them an offer or offer them to attend a private workshop. Or maybe I want to give them my new book or tell them about where they could buy my new book. And I can just pop my email here and it will automatically get added to the series. So hit save here, for example. Okay, you're going to see that it's here, the additional email notification. So it's nice and simple, and it tells you exactly when it's going to go out. All this stuff is built in for you. Okay, we have a special area which is called the media library, which you can load all your media. So all your replays. So we automatically record all your live webinars and it goes right into your media library. So all your videos, your replays, all your presentation slides that you've uploaded, you could pop them in here. You can even preview them. So say, for example, I have this keynote presentation that I have here, and I can even say, okay, yep, I remember this one. I'm going to do this one next. And you can preview all your slides right inside. Okay, you don't need to share your screen. We can show the slides right inside of WebinarNinja without moving from one screen to another. You can upload documents like PDFs and handouts that you have, as well as all your images that you use for your pages, as well as your offers, all that kind of stuff. So super, super easy to use. Okay. Now, we mentioned NinjaTown before. We talked about all the different features inside of WebinarNinja. Now, let me just jump in. I'm going to publish this webinar just so that you can see what it looks like as an attendee, so like a registrant. So it's nice and simple. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the link. I'm going to hit share, copy, okay? And I'm going to go to an incognito window, and I hit paste. Okay, and now I'm on the registration page. This is me as a registrant. Okay, and as you can, I obviously didn't finish everything on my registration page, but it populated all the information that was already there. It would, give you all the information that you've completed here. So it's all ready to go. I don't need to worry about hosting. I don't need to worry about creating this page with a different provider. It's all inside. So if I hit register here, I simply just add my name and email address to register. Once I register, I get the email notifications. I could add it to my calendar. It's super, super easy. And this is what I love about WebinarNinja, is just a nice, easy platform for you to be able to go ahead and teach and sell. So I'm going to jump back into the studio. I know there's lots of questions. and I want to make sure that I answer them. So let me just go ahead and jump in there. And we got a lot more to show you guys, so don't worry. Lots more to show in today's presentation. I'm going to pop and take some questions real quick. I'm going to see if there's any upvoted questions. Here we go. John says, can I use Webinar Ninja to deliver courses? So John, this is a great question. I know off the top of my head, for example, Dominique, one of our users, he uses it to run his live courses with the series webinar. He runs a live training, 5-week training. So you could definitely do that. You could definitely use it for on-demand as well. We have the choice to do live and on-demand videos. So you could definitely use that. We're also building out an extension to our software to allow you to have more robust courses. So they'll be able to offer a little bit of a community area inside for your members. But right now, a lot of our users use it just with the series webinar, and they do just great. So thanks, John, for the question. I love it. Let's go to the next question. Can I switch to full screen? So you could definitely do this with mobile devices. So when you go into, for example, this is called landscape mode, it automatically goes into full screen. Same thing with an iPad or something like that. Now with desktop, we keep it as wide as possible, but we don't want to go full screen because the resolution, we want to make sure it's crisp and clean for you. And also the chat and the questions and the polls is quite important for people to be able to see everything as they interact. So definitely can do that on mobile and tablet. And then you can actually change the width of the chat. So if you hover between the chat and the video, you'll see that the cursor will become like an arrow, and you can go back and forth and stretch the screen. So let me just show you real quick. I'll share my screen so you can see what I mean in a moment. So let me go ahead, share screen. So right here, as you can see, I have an arrow here. Just go ahead, share my screen. Okay. And I can stretch it. I can go back and forth like this to make it a little easier. Hope that's super helpful. Cool. We got another question. What's the difference of using Webinar Ninja as a teaching tool versus an LMS programs? This is a great question. So Webinar Ninja really focuses on live teaching and events. And we really want to make sure that you have an easy way to not worry about the technology and just be able to jump in and teach live. We record all the live sessions automatically and pop it into your media library so that you can use them as replays and things like that. Many people use Webinar Ninja to deliver their courses, but in terms of a full-fledged learning management system where you have where you can be able to use it just like an LMS, this is the next step of Webinar Ninja. We're actually working on this right now, and will be released to all our users as soon as it's ready. But right now, we're more of a live events platform, and you will definitely get the update when we're a full LMS as soon as it's out. So I would compare us more to a live broadcasting and a marketing tool. And when you want to be able to control and manage all your students and give out certificates and all that kind of stuff, that's something that's coming down the pipeline. Love it. Okay, I'm going to keep going with the presentation. I'll be back to answer this question. I'll do one more question. Why not? Scott says, can participants private message you through the webinar or all communications open like this questions panel? Scott, actually what I'll do so that you can see, I will private message you and you can private message me. So hello. So I'm going to hit you up with a private message, and you should see it in your private message tab. It's between me and you. I just said hello twice here. And you will see that there are private messages between me and you, you and the host. So you can definitely answer questions between public and private. I'll just share my screen real quick so that people can see this. So as you can see, I have a private message going on between Scott and myself in the private tab, and I have the public tab, which is right here. So super simple to go back and forth, and you can private message me directly as well. So this is actually quite good because some people might ask private questions about how you price your product, maybe pricing plan, do you accept American Express, whatever it is, or maybe it's like a personal question and they can private message you directly. Love it. Good question, Scott. I'm just going to mark that as answered, and we'll go back to questions shortly. Okay. So Every plan comes with unlimited live webinars. So you can run live demos, Q&As, you can do coaching, you can do hot seats, you can do group coaching, all that kind of stuff. Unlimited offers. So you can run offers just like the offer I just popped in there. You can create offers, timed offers, all that kind of stuff so that you'll be able to make your offers inside the webinar. We have fast auto replays. We record every single session and we automatically put it into your media library. It's actually within seconds after your webinar is over, so you can pop and send a replay immediately. And it's just as good quality as it was live. Unlimited automated webinars. So if you want to run automated webinars to grow your leads, to be able to offer automatic opt-ins to grow your email list, you want to offer unlimited handouts inside of your our automated webinars. A lot of people use automated webinars to deliver handouts. So for example, if I have like a PDF or an ebook or a cheat sheet, instead of me just saying, here, take the cheat sheet, I actually combine it with an automated webinar, which is a 5-minute video where it just says, hey, this is the cheat sheet. This is how you're supposed to use it. It's great value. And they get an automatic download in the download section. You'll see how the downloads work in a moment because I'll give you a free handout for being on today's webinar. You also get unlimited video storage, so you can upload videos and host them inside of WebinarNinja. You get unlimited landing pages and statistics. Create your custom pages as you saw in my demo. You could track your results with our analytics and statistics like registrations, like conversion rates, like who participated in the chat, all kinds of detailed stats so you can know how well you're doing. You also can review your chat and your questions after the webinar so you can extract great information, testimonials, learn from your users, find out what is bothering them so you can create solutions for them. And that's what's great about saving your Q&A. You can also run paid webinars with every single type of webinar inside of WebinarNinja. We accept credit cards, so that way you can accept credit cards. We take 0% as a transaction fee. Stripe will take their transaction fee for processing their credit card, which is a very competitive rate. And you get paid instantly via Stripe, which is super, super cool. You also get unlimited emails, timed emails, automatic reminders, segmented emails based on if they attended, did not attend, they've registered, all that kind of stuff. You also get access to, we extracted this information from our users. These are the 3 big reasons why we have extracted from our users why they choose WebinarNinja over other platforms. So reason number 1, it's easy. Okay, as you have seen with the demo, it's super, super simple to create and run webinars. Okay, this is Grant Herbert, one of our members at WebinarNinja. He says, I've tried just about everything there is out there, and hands down, WebinarNinja is the best for running webinars. I've been with them from the beginning, and the features they have keep adding at no extra cost definitely helps us with changes to the landscape we're working on or working in. And if that wasn't enough, their support is exceptional. So Grant has been with us for quite some time, and he knows every time we improve, we send out updates, our members get a better and better software as every month goes on. The second reason why people choose WebinarNinja is that it's an all-in-one solution. They don't need to buy and create and use other software and try to make them all talk together to make this all work, right? This is Spencer Fry. He's the CEO of Podia. He says, our platform of choice is WebinarNinja. It's easy to use and comes loads with tons of marketing materials like sign up and thank you pages out of the box. Has everything that he needs to run webinars. And the third reason why people choose WebinarNinja is helpful just-in-time customer support. We pride ourselves on great customer support because we understand that you only need customer support when you need it, right? And we want to make sure that we're there for you when you do have a question, when you do need help, when you need advice about something. This is Emmer. She's a web developer and UX designer. She says their chat support's fantastic and fast. I always feel like I've been given more than enough time to have all my questions answered, even if it isn't the question I started with. They also give regular trainings to help with building your own webinars. And we do member webinars every single month to give you some coaching and help you out throughout your time with WebinarNinja. So super, super simple. The bottom line is that we always have your back. It's not just the software, it's the community, it's the customer support, it's the software improving every single month. It's us trying to make sure that you win with webinars and you use the product to build your business and grow your business. That's really our goal, because if you do that, we know that you're going to get a lot of value and be with us for life, just like a lot of these members that I just mentioned today. So again, let me go ahead and answer your questions. Let's go ahead. Arandira says, I teach live Spanish classes and load for passive income on-demand classes. Live Spanish class. So, yeah, you can run live classes with our series webinar. You can run also on-demand videos with our series webinar as well. So you can load up or upload your videos inside of Webinar Ninja. We will host them for you, and it could be an on-demand session. So you can go ahead and sell those directly because we have our own landing pages, and you could charge for them. And I would recommend using the series webinar for that. If you're just doing one-off sessions, like one workshop, you could do that with just a live or automated webinar. Good question. She also has another question. Would I be able to incorporate classes on my website hosted by Kartra? This is a good question. So if you have courses on Kartra and you're selling them there, that's one thing. If you're doing a live, courses, you could do it inside of Webinar Ninja. My advice to you is that you can just link to Webinar Ninja if somebody's going to go ahead and buy a live course, or if you want to give them access to a live course, you can go ahead and just link to it so they can register and go to the live session inside of Webinar Ninja. It's super, super simple. And our support team can walk you through it if you like. I will say that very, very soon, we'll be replacing your Kartra membership because we're going to be able to do everything that they basically do and more. So that way you could just save some money. And we'll be significantly less than Kartra. Just saying, guys. So you'll definitely be able to save a bit of cash. Love it. Scott, sorry, let me just filter. I'm going to order this by number of votes. Anne says, if I create a series for people to sign up can I add to the series as time goes on so that people don't have to sign up again? Yes, you can edit the series and you can add more sessions if you like. You can edit the series at any time. You can add automated or on-demand videos as well as live. Good stuff, Ann. Scott says, do polls live on actively through automated webinars? So you can time your polls, Scott, so that the number of increases or more people view it and answer the poll. In other words, if 100 people have watched the automated webinar, but at different times, this is a good question, Scott. Okay, so let me just explain it to you, Scott. We have different kinds of automated webinars. So we have automated webinars that are delivered on different times and dates that you can choose, like every Monday and Tuesday at 4 to 5 p.m. or up to you how you want to do the timing, every hour, every whatever you want to do. We also have a different type of automated webinar, which is called a Watch Now webinar, which is an on-demand webinar, which they can watch it instantly, okay? See, these are seen as two different types of automated webinars. The on-demand one, which I use personally, is basically one session, and the polls there are cumulative, and that way you'll see like every single person that is using it for that session. Now, automated webinars that have different dates and different times have different polls for each session, and the reason why we do that, because you have different polls and different questions and different offers, is that your stats are different for each session so that you can compare which session is doing better. But you can aggregate all your poll information in the automated webinar, have different dates by exporting it. We have a CSV export, and then you can go ahead and figure that out by just combining the files. But the point is that we separate the stats so that way you can compare and contrast and see, okay, this session is actually more active. I'm going to go with this time as my next automated webinar time. I love it, Scott. Good question. Answer another one from Chris. Oh, never mind. Saw that slider. Okay, no problem, Chris. All good. This is all good stuff. Guys, any other questions? Let me know in the chat if you have any questions. Mary says, yep, she's back in the day. She was signed up for AppSumo. That was like yesteryears. But love to have you here. It's been what was that, like maybe 6 years now? 6 years. Do I have access to all the goodies you have here? Yes, Marianne, you have access to the starter plan, which has all the different webinar types. You can just jump right into your account and check out everything. Most of our features are offered in all our plans. Awesome. Lawrence says, because I'm a poor ISA, I probably need to contact support more than most people. No problem. Lawrence, we're here to help all times, and they are always patient. I love that. Thank you, Lawrence. Appreciate that. Guys, any other questions you have? So Scott says, so do the Watch Now version of the automated webinar accumulate the poll responses? Your answer is yes. My concern is that if I get 100 people to watch a different times, no one will ever see the poll read more. With more than one response, and everyone will think that they're the only one ever watching. Yep. So the watch now accumulates. So you could use the watch now if you like, or I would recommend maybe just if you want to do different dates and times, don't go absolutely crazy. You can just choose a minimal amount of time. Love it, Scott. Good stuff. Any other questions, guys, before I move on? Can you scroll back? I have a question about the pointer. Sure. Is it in the questions area? No. Let me go into the chat. Let me see what you got here. Go back to the questions. Oh, okay, cool. Jenny's jumping on there. Yeah, you're talking about the actual cursor, the arrow that of the mouse. Impossible if we're on the screen. So there is a lot of computer apps that you can use to change your actual mouse so that it's a little bigger or it's highlighted. I know on Mac I use one. Let me see what it's called in my apps. I'll try to find that for you. But basically, you could change your mouse so it's a little bit bigger, or it has a big yellow circle around it. Let me just see. Mouse. I know it's called. Oh, it's called mouse. It's coming to me now. I'm just looking it up here. Yep. Are you on a Mac or a PC, Lawrence? Let me know. So I'll pop it in the chat. This one is really cool. I use this one. No, I mean your cursor. Are you talking about? I'm not really sure what you mean, Lawrence. The cursor that I'm using to move around the actual app and point around is the cursor on my computer. I can change that to make it easier for people in the future. I use this app right here, PC. But what I mean is, what your cursor almost disappears when you view the webinar. Um, yeah. So, oh, you mean my cursor? Yeah, I could definitely change that to make that easier for people, so that my cursor doesn't disappear. To make that super simple. So I'll have to install that and use that to make it easier, especially for member webinars, all the kinds of webinars we do. So I really appreciate the feedback, Lawrence. Cool stuff, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for being on today's webinar. If you have any questions, again, reach out anytime. Okay, this is one of my favorite testimonials from one of my favorite entrepreneurs, Kate Toon. In 2015, I ran my first webinar with WebinarNinja. That webinar allowed me to get my first 100 customers and launched my recipe for SEO success business. Means so much to me and to the whole team because it shows that we're able to help people to leverage the power of webinars to grow their audience and be able to launch businesses, make money, grow out their passion project. So this is something that I'm really, really proud of. And Kate is just one of over 15,000 users we have at Webinar Ninja. So I'd love to see your testimonial on my slides one day soon. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here. And I'll see you guys inside of Ninja Town. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.